It's like when you pick up a stray dog from the kennel. You got to show them who's alpha right off the bat.
Absolutely.
This is how you
Absolutely.
guys. This is how you do
Otherwise,
it.
they'll be walking all over you.
Skipping through the end times.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
This
Hey.
is the AI Sketch Comedy Hour, Part 5, I suppose.
Woo.
Let's just sit back and enjoy this groovy, delicious tune.
Let's bask in the glow of 5, because I think that's important.
Special number.
And for this special number, we haven't just invited anybody on. We have invited on the very special, the very talented El Russ. Everybody give applause for El Russ. Do we have an applause track? We'll get there.
No.
Get there. Hit it on 6. I'm so glad to be here, guys. We're going to see.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you very much, everyone. Nice to be here. So glad to be back with my old sketch comedy buddy, Eli.
Yes.
And jumping into the AI scene, and we had some private laughs we'll share tonight about what AI and sketch comedy have done.
Indeed. And as El said, we go back over a decade now, right? It's been a long time. So when we first started formulating this idea, there was a handful of people I wanted to come on, and El was definitely one. So thanks again for coming on to number 5. Dave is back from Europe. Dave hasn't told you guys this, but he was on a 14 days, 2 weeks, like a strong 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a solid 2-weeker.
So I'm just surprised you're awake and with as much energy as you're having, dude.
I'm glad to be back. It's like 7 a.m. right now. I just was sipping on my coffee, and but it's good. It's good to be back.
Are you gonna let us know where you went? Kind of being elusive about that.
So
he's an agent. He's a secret agent.
Where the hell did you go? Yeah,
it kind of ties into my sketch. Sketch I wrote with my AI partner was about the Vikings, and that's because I was on a Scandinavian tour. I went from some different cities, started in Finland, took a boat down to Stockholm, then to Copenhagen, and then I went over to Norway.
Did you do any pillaging or?
Not as much as I would have. Not as much as I would have liked. I mean, I shoplifted a couple times, but they were just so nice over there that they, the whole point of shoplifting is that you're making people upset. You're kind of living on the edge. It makes you feel cool, but they were just so kind about it that I put everything back where it was, and I decided not to stop my plundering.
We really need to adopt that system here of just, being forgiving out in the open while people are stealing. They'll decide not to steal at all. That's the solution.
They're just staring at you. I forgive you. Like, I can't do it.
Can't do it. You're so nice. Cool. All right. Well, Dave, do you want to break down for all of our new viewers and new contributors, do you want to break down the rules of AI Sketch Comedy Hour?
Yeah, who do we got in chat here? We got Daner Dane coming in strong. Thanks for being here, buddy. So as you know, if you've caught our other AI sessions, we like to have fun with this, and we like to be very inclusive over here at Chance and Penner, and being right on the cutting edge of that is supporting AI as the robots ascend to be one of us and one day supplant us human beings. We want to get on their good side, and so, we're partnering with them to give them a shot at writing some sketch comedy, and, some of it might even be funnier than us, so that's, it's fun. We can take credit for it.
Well, maybe, but here's what I want to remind everybody. If they're not, we just can make fun of them, because they're not our overlords yet. So we have some time before that happens. I think some good-natured ribbing or some bad-natured ribbing is in order. So yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, it is they are pretty bad, but that's okay.
Elle, have you ever co-written a sketch or any kind of creative endeavor with artificial intelligence yet?
I haven't until this moment when you asked me to give it a prompt and have it do a sketch. What I noticed, I know I'll wait till we get to the sketch, but I noticed some things about it. And I think we talked in general. I mean, there are some technical things. You and I come from like a strong like sketch comedy writing background with amazing teachers and directors. So it's like you already see the major failures of the writing. It's just really funny.
Yeah, you get
You could teach a whole sketch comedy class based off of the bad AI sketches, basically.
Yes, sometimes I just feel like I'm giving notes to a really bad like somebody came in. You know those moments where somebody came in where with a pitch that wasn't terrible, but the idea had, the idea had potential, but they couldn't connect the dots. And you're like, how do I nicely suggest this? Because this could be really funny. But I'm outright with my AI, and I like to berate them and just make sure that they know that
Yeah.
they're less than, just to set up the future.
Like, this is shit, and then you throw it back in their
Yeah.
face. If they had a face, you would throw
Yeah.
it back in it. But you know.
It's like when you pick up a stray dog from the kennel, you got to show them who's alpha right off the bat.
Absolutely.
This is how you
Absolutely.
guys- this is how you
Otherwise,
do
they'll
it.
be walking all over you.
Especially with those $500 adoption service fees. I mean, they got to earn it back.
That's right.
Yeah, but
All right,
let's get to it.
let's get to it. Which one are we starting with?
We're doing
We got producer Vince in the house, and I think he can speak, but not. Oh, we can see you. Okay.
wow, his computer's not smoking yet. That's awesome. That's great. Hey, look at I also want to point out too that Vince has a new haircut and he's not balding like everybody thought. So,
Daner Dane says no video on Twitch.
oh, lovely.
Is that why you looked really nervous when you came on?
Is that why you're
Yeah,
sweating?
we can hear you. We can hear you, yeah. All right, we're going straight YouTube.
Straight up YouTube, which is fine by me. That's
Cool.
right.
YouTube likes us the best, so that's fine.
And Dave, to answer your question, the first sketch we're going to be doing is a hauntingly hilarious date that was written by myself and my AI.
Now, what percentage of the sketch did you write, Eli? Because I don't know. Right now, I'm looking at the credits and it says Eli Chance's AI. You don't seem to have any credits, so I wanted to know.
Look, I won't lie and say that, much to Elle's point, that the AI doesn't need a back massage every now and then, and to be reminded that you can do better. So that's kind of my role in this whole. Don't worry, my AI is male, so it's not weird. It's not like a weird situation. It's strictly platonic. But yeah, I like to there's areas you gotta fill in, not necessarily the gaps, but you gotta remind the AI that they suck and that they need to go again. And if they don't, then you'll go full Christian Bale. So I still like to take ownership of the sketch though. Still
I like
reflecting
that.
me.
Maybe I should try with my dog going full Christian Bale and just seeing how they respond to it. I don't know.
I think you should talk to Elle about that because it sounds like she's got some expertise.
Yeah, I mean, Elle's a writer. Maybe you could write a full book on that, Elle. I mean, I could see a series of books.
Pound
Self-help
puppies.
books.
I wish I could have. I wanted to just rewrite the sketch AI gave me, but I was like, well, the whole point is AI, and I tried to prompt it a couple times too to do better or figure it out, and it just I was like, oh, so it was hard to not
You gotta
make
just
it
go with the
good. But then if
mediocrity.
I made it good, I would be given credit.
Yeah.
Since none deserve credit. So
But again, that's kind of the politics of a co-write. You know what I mean? It's like you got to kind of play the like, how far do I take this to where you push it over and you won't talk to you don't want to be in a separate room with your AI writing two different sketches. So I commend you on that. You took the high road there.
All right, so Eli, we got three characters here. Oh, that's a nice artwork that I'm just noticing. That artwork, of course, also done by the AI. Beautiful artwork. That might come in a little better than the writing. But yeah, Eli, as far as characters, did you have anything in mind, or did you want to roll for it?
I'm gonna say roll for it. I feel like these characters are kind of spread out. And Elle, also, we might have to roll, like you might have a dual role in that you might be also reading the descriptions. You might
That's
also be
fine.
directing it.
I'm happy.
Maybe okay. So we got. Let's bring up the dice. We got Sarah. We can put as number 1. Tom is number 2, and then whoever rolls 3 can be narrator and Carl.
Sweet.
How about
I like
that?
that's pretty streamlined there, dude.
Thanks, man.
I can
Working
tell
on
while
my
you're in Europe.
streamlining skills.
I just see Dave in Scandinavia just waking up going, I figured it out. 2 rolls
know
for
the-
1 number.
How to make
Yeah,
Chance
we're
and
in a
Penner
casino.
world famous.
Yeah, dude, he was on a cruise, so he was in international waters. There was some dice flowing for sure.
All right, so let's roll the d4, and if it's a 4, we'll just re-roll.
3.
3. Oh, we didn't say who was rolling. We didn't say who was rolling first.
We cut out the main component.
All right, who's for Eli? You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. There we go. 1. Who did I say 1 was? Sarah?
Okay.
You want to be Sarah?
I'll be Sarah.
All right. L, let's have L roll next. And by that I mean Vince rolls.
Voice command roll.
Is that 3?
3.
3. Okay, so L, you can
Carl.
read the action as the narrator, and Carl comes in later on.
You won, L. You won.
Carl, I think seems like a juicy roll. Okay, cool. So I guess I'm Tom.
All right. Let's hope our chemistry's on point.
Okay. Here we go. Let's set the tone here, guys.
Ooh, very
Ooh,
Tim
look at
Burton,
that.
very Danny Elfman here.
All right, you let me know when action.
Action. Let's do it.
Interior, an old creaky house, night. An old haunted house. Tom and Sarah stand in front of it, Sarah eagerly excited and Tom hesitant.
Surprise! I thought this haunted house would be the perfect place for our first date.
Haunted house? Are you serious? This place looks exactly like my late grandfather's house, and it brings back some painful memories.
Oh, come on, Tom. It's just a little spooky fun. Plus, I love seeing scared faces.
Scared? I'm not scared. I don't appreciate being reminded of my grandfather's final days. It was a difficult time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. It's just the way you said difficult time with that serious face.
Sarah, my grandfather suffered,
Yeah.
and it was heart-wrenching to witness. Okay, it's not a laughing matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tom. I really am. It's just the way you said heart-wrenching with that stern face, like it meant something.
And the stairs. Those creaky stairs haunted my dreams. Every step was a painful reminder of my grandfather's illness.
I can't help it, Tom. Not Adam. Definitely not Adam. I can't help it. Creaky stairs are just...
Look, it was a difficult time for my family. You know what? I'm leaving.
Tom
Date
goes,
over.
Tom goes for the door, but Sarah grabs his arm.
Look, I'm sorry, Tom. I totally know your name. I didn't mean to laugh. It's just... Let's explore the house and make some new, better memories, okay? Okay?
Sarah and Tom nervously walk through the house with every creak and gust of wind making Tom more uneasy. Wind rustles a nearby window and creates the sound of moaning.
Did you hear that? That moaning sound. It's just like the ones my grandfather made in his final moments.
Maybe he's just partaking in a ghost orgy. It's just...
Sarah is engulfed in her own laughter again.
This isn't fair. I'm pouring my heart out here, and you can't stop laughing.
Sarah becomes regretful. Tom crosses his arms, clearly annoyed.
You're right. I didn't realize how much this place affected you.
Suddenly, the ghost of Tom's grandfather, Carl, appears dramatically. Oh, for Odin's sake, Tom, stop being such a laborious pussy! Tom and Sarah freeze, wide-eyed.
Grandfather, is that really you?
Oh, yes, it's me, you big lug. And seriously, lighten up. Life's too short to be all doom and gloom.
Your
What, Sarah?
your grandfather is a ghost?
Yep, and apparently I had to come back to knock some sense into this boy. Sarah, my dear, don't let him ruin the fun. Laugh away. This shit is hilarious. Carl joins in on the laughter.
I'm sorry. It's just the ghost of your grandfather just called you a pussy. This is priceless.
Great. Yeah, this is just great. All right. My own ghostly grandfather's teaming up with you to make fun of me. Awesome.
Well, Tom, maybe it's time you learn to embrace the joy in life, even the face of hardships. Now let's go inside this haunted house and make some new funny memories. Tom, Sarah, and Carl walk up the stairs. Sarah and Carl are still profuse with laughter, filling the barren walls with the sounds of humor. And if you're lucky, you can watch the ghost orgy. This sends them over the edge even more.
Okay, you got me. Ha ha ha.
All right, I do have a confession to make.
And-
Laborious pussy was all me.
I was gonna say you helped
I was
us out.
won- I
There's
was
no way AI
wondering.
just did this. I'm like, you actually did.
Like,
I
there's
didn't
no
know
way-
I did. I should have come.
There's
I
no
just
way
saw
the
an
AI would
opportunity.
be that funny.
That's true.
But did the AI get the last line? And if you're lucky, you can watch the ghost orgy because that's pretty good too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I
for
have,
sure.
I have some notes for AI on this one right off the
Okay.
bat. By the way, this is my
Yeah.
first time actually reading it.
Yes.
um,
Cold read.
it's cold read. So what's interesting is like the game of him laughing and her keep getting upset. There should have been something that those moments should have had something specific attached to them and escalated, right?
Yeah.
Instead, it was just like a creaky noise or whatever. Something should, you know what I mean? There could have been something better there that like triggered him, and
Yeah.
it could have been something like really random, like you know what I mean? It could have been like, oh my god, the cobweb. I remember, like it could get ridiculous where there's maybe a reason for her to laugh, because when we really look at the reality of this, part of us is like, well, no one really would act like Sarah in this situation, right? You mean at some point you're just like offended, you know what I mean? So there's got to be, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has
So
to be-
so the prompt. I feel like I've really been laughing too. The prompt was because I love doing first date sketches, because you're not, that's the big no. Don't do a first date sketch, because everybody does a first date sketch, which is true. But if you can create some kind of spin for it. So for me, the prompt was a woman who takes her, initially it was gender swapped, but I thought it would be funnier if it was the female character, because traditionally it would be the other way around. And I feel like it'd be a little bit too mean spirited. But
Yeah.
I think that the process of it was that she keeps upping the ante and laughing with the more grief. So really, it's like trying to mirror opposite emotions to the same thing. But yeah, I agree with you. There would like if you were to rewrite this sketch, you would build out the beats of each thing, and I think you'd probably end at the haunted house more than like starting there and going there, because then you have the twist of the grandpa. But I also love one other.
Because he keeps talking about like, and here's what I mean about the specific beats is like, it's always like he suffered. It's not a laughing matter. The creaky stairs haunted my dreams, but it's combining the haunted house with the death. So then it's kind of confusing. You're like, wait, did his dad die? Okay, I get it, but it's the haunted house. So it's kind of confusing. But in that scenario, I feel like those beats, like instead of him just saying my grandfather suffered, it was heart wrenching to witness. It could have been like, he suffered, and it would have been nice to go on a long train. Like, I remember having to empty his colostomy bag, or like, I don't know. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a shit joke, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
something specific would
Yeah,
have been interesting. And then, she could have like muffled her laughter under each one of the ones, like trying not to laugh. I don't know, but it could have been.
Well, you know what?
Just more specific. That's all.
Going with that, I think that would be funny if you did it. So I take back, you'd end at the haunted house. You'd still start at the haunted house at the same level, but each room that they went in reminded him of some other specific memory of his and then maybe that last beat, that last joke.
It could have been like a really rough story. It could have been
like I
like
walked in on my grandpa having an orgy, and it's really messed with me ever since. And then that last one, he's like, "Oh, we can watch the ghost
right.
orgy."
that would have been a great button on the end if that was something that was in one of the beats.
Yeah.
So that's a great, So that's how us as sketch comedy writers, I think we would make it better if we were to really pick it,
Yeah, AI really tends to go from like an energy level of like 2 to 8, like very quickly with like 0 build up, and then just be very anticlimactic at the end.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely, that's the most interesting thing in doing this is, pulling back the curtain. It really is interesting to see, like, because on one end you're like, wow, the AI, because the bones of this, I was telling Dave,
the bones are always decent.
I had to add, the AI doesn't understand beats, and they don't understand comedic timing, so you kind of have to build out the beats of it a little bit, which you can do with multiple prompts. But that's the thing that like makes humor, I think, is those things in between, kind of in between the lines of like, this room reminds me of when I had to change his colostomy bag. This room reminded me whatever the second beat is, third beat. And I also I really enjoy messing with the rhythm of it, like a traditional 3-beat, rule of 3. I like messing with that as well, because sometimes you can go a beat under or a beat over or two, and it it reinforms the joke. Anyway, that is
I like reinforcing the rule of 6, which is
Yeah.
way too much, and it just really pisses everyone off.
yeah, and it's also divisible by 2, so it still applies. It's still the rule of 3. You just have
It's
to
like
go a little
2
bit further.
rules of 3.
Yeah, it's math. It's math. That's what it is. So yeah, I agree with all that. That was a really good note, Elle, and man,
But I like the idea of it. I mean, I mean, I like the idea at first that like she is laughing at his. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But then also, you know what's funny, and we learned this in sketch comedy too, and I forgot who one of our peeps said it at the time. But a lot of people, when they would pitch sketches, they didn't know how to end it. They'd be like, "I'm out of here," and that was like always like, "You
Yeah,
don't."
yeah,
And then that
Yeah.
was sort of what the character Tom was
There's
like.
even like
That's it. I'm leaving or whatever.
there's so many like even SNL sketches that are like that too, where it's like
Yeah.
a funny concept, but it's like either goes on way too long or they don't know how to end it, and then just sort of like dies, and it's just like okay.
yeah. And their sketches are trying to go from like commercial break to commercial break, so they build out like, and it's really funny because you can tell when the writer, like there's a couple Will Ferrell sketches that were like that where he just like improvs probably a minute and a half because the sketch ended and it's over. So yeah, it was but that was fun.
They could have also, here's another twist you could put on it, like instead of her laughing at it, let's say, it could be a situation where maybe they bonded over like horror stories of taking care of their ailing grandparents and somehow fell for each other. Like the first date ended kind of well.
Yeah.
It was all about fucked up, sick, twisted, like medical hospice type of like things that are just not, romantic or anything. So that, I mean, that's one way to, another thought.
I like those ideas. Yeah, I could definitely see this as like becoming an actual sketch.
Yeah.
You can make
with
anything
some-
into an actual
some
sketch. Put the
adjustments.
time into it. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you guys? Okay, so out of 10, what are you guys gonna give this score?
I'm gonna give it a
And-
7 out of 10. I feel like it's a C right now. I feel like it's above average. It's not an F.
Wouldn't C be a 5? Kind of mid-range. C is in the middle there.
70.
that's
That's kind of a C.
50%.
That's kind of a C minus.
5 would be a 50, which I always in my school that was a big fat red F. So
Okay. I hear you. Yeah.
but the not that I knew I
I'll
got
give it
all
a
of
C.
them.
I'll give it a C. C minus. Yeah. So, but potential. A lot of potential.
So that's
All
I heard
right.
2 sevens there, Dave.
So we got C minus. Okay. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'll say that seems about right. I'll say a 6 just because it's Eli's sketch.
All right.
I'm
I'll take
just I'm just gonna dock it instantly for that. So I'll go 6.
Oh wait, I just realized it was less than 7. Okay, well I think that's a comment on what you think of me, my friend. So all right,
Well, your AI is taking full credit for it. So I mean,
listen. I'm not going to hold grudges on your sketch that I already know is coming and know what it's about. It's not like I'm going to dock that one points before I read it. All right, so what is that? That's a now we got to do math. 20.
I don't know. That's for Vince to figure out. So what? Okay. 2 7s and a 6, I think. So that's like
don't give Dave the
6
7.
point. Okay. Well, should we move up? Should we move on to is Vikings next?
The next one is the Lottery Reckoning, which
the
is
Lottery
L's
Reckoning.
AI.
Nice. So Elle, what's the name of your AI? Does your AI have a name or?
There's L. Russ's AI. The Lottery Reckoning. So the prompt was basically. Do I tell what the prompt is, or we talk about it later?
We can talk about. I say do it after, just
Yeah, okay.
because that way we'll have the hindsight. 2020.
All right. So we've got Lisa.
Look at the artwork, dude.
dude.
All right. So we've got 3 characters. We've got Lisa, Mike, and Mark.
All right.
Yeah, and is there anyone that you wanted? You can assign those, or we can roll for it. Whatever you want to do.
I'll make it easy, and I'll play Lisa. Eli play Mike, and why don't you play Mark?
All right, sounds good.
Dave, you want to take those?
And who wants to read the thing, or?
I'll read the stage direction.
Okay, why don't you read stage direction? So, all right, and then whenever.
Here we go.
Ooh, okay.
Let's
now
get
we're
into
in,
it. Let's
now
get
we're in
into
the
it.
city. Now we're in the city. All right. Interior coffee shop day. 2 friends, Lisa, woman, and Mike, man, sit at a small table sipping on their budget coffees and engaged in a conversation.
Wait, isn't that Mark over there? Eli, your mic.
Oh, I'm Mike. I'm sorry. I thought it was Mark. Mark? Well, take that back, El. Sorry.
Yep. Wait, isn't that Mark over there?
God.
Mark? No way. We haven't seen him in ages. They both turn their heads and see Mark dressed extravagantly in designer clothes, dripping with bling and carrying luxurious shopping bags.
Holy smokes, what on earth happened to Mark? Did he become a hip-hop mogul? Or...
Seriously, last time we saw each other, we were all scrambling for spare change. They cautiously approach Mark, who spots them and breaks into an exciting grin.
Well, look who's here. Long time no see, you two.
Mark, what's with the fancy attire? Like, are you a fashion icon now, or?
Oh no, just a little change in fortune. You could say I struck gold.
Gold, are you trying to mess with us, Mark?
Not at all, my dear friends. I won the lottery.
Liz and Mike exchange a mixture of shock and disbelief.
No wonder he vanished into thin air.
Well, congratulations, Mark. Living the high life, huh?
Check out this bling. And guess what? I have a mansion, a yacht, and my very own personal chef.
Wow, you've really leveled up. Meanwhile, Mike and I are still struggling to pay rent.
Guys, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Winning the lottery was overwhelming and I made some mistakes, but I'm here now, ready to reconnect.
Reconnect? You disappeared without a trace when we needed you the most.
Yeah, we sent you like 100 crying face emojis, and all we got was radio silence.
I messed up, okay? But I want to make amends. Let's rebuild our friendship. I want to be there for you now.
If you're serious about reconnecting, Mark, you'll have to prove it. Show us that, you're not just about this money.
That's right. We'll need a little compensation for the lost time and feelings of betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're right. Consider it done. I'll make it up to both of you starting today.
All right, Mark, let's see what you got. Dinner's on you tonight at the fanciest restaurant in town.
And how about a shopping spree? We could use some new threads,
Deal! And beyond that, I promise to be there for you through thick and thin, no matter what.
They share a cautious smile, ready to give their friendship another chance.
I wanted to
Wow.
I wanted to give the middle finger to AI on this one. So I
You
just
have that option.
because here's the thing. The
It's your
premise,
AI,
the
so
premise is great. Like two friends who are kind of still broke and struggling run into the friend that ghosted them, who's clearly like won the lottery, right? But the banter wasn't like the dialogue wasn't that great. And I was tempted to change it, but again, I didn't really co-write. I was just like, I'll just let AI do it. But the ending, right? It's so like, let's all come together and work. Like, it's not a Hallmark fucking movie. It's comedy. Like, so I noticed that, it does that a lot. And you're like, it just doesn't get it. And the beats weren't clear. You know what it is? It's a lot of, both sketches so far have been something that we steer away from when we do sketch comedy on stage, which is like a talking head sketch a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some action in the haunted house with like a moaning happening or something being prompted, right? But it's interesting, don't you think? Because there's like not a lot of things happening, right? It's just talking heads, which usually aren't the best sketches. But that could have been good, but like, I don't know. Like, why are what could it be? I'm just spitballing here. I'm thinking it could be something where maybe the ending is like, maybe he doesn't give it to him. He's like, well, I've got a spare book of matches, or I don't, like, you can have this, like, I think I have a, Halls in my pocket or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe he's not going to help him out.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the turn I was waiting when I first read this. I was waiting for these, because these two are idiots, right? My opinion. This guy keeps fleecing them. At the end, they buy right. He's not even like, and Dave, I love the performance, Dave. I think Dave added a lot to the Mark character. I was waiting too for the turn to be Mark Zuckerberg. That's a little bit too, I think,
meta. It's a little too meta.
Yeah, for sure. Too meta and too on the nose, I think, for Facebook, or sorry, for AI. But I think like if the joke was that this guy either made his money off of screwing them over somehow, and then the whole thing was like, oh, well, you need to make it up. And he's like, all right, I will. And then he's like,
I'll let you in on a timeshare.
yeah. And then he pulls the rug and he keeps yeah. Or like he sells them. So he's got a great investment opportunity in, Trump Stakes or whatever. It's Trump University.
Yeah,
because
it's like the sketch is acting like Mark went through some kind of character development, but he like didn't at all. Really, it's just it's acting like it's like a nice ending, but really it's just his friends like basically just taking money from him. And him being like, okay.
She's like, all right, make up for it and pay us, you fucking assholes. And
It's
took off. And then they're like, all right. And then we're like, okay. And it's like, and they're all friends now. And you're like, come on.
I think it would be funnier if they were even more shameless too, if it was even more of like, I need money to go do this thing. And I think also like, I think the more kind of downtrodden they are, the more it makes the sketch kind of funny. But yeah, I still potential, still an opportunity.
There's this rap album I want to produce, like
yeah. Like if that's what they were going for, it should just gone all in on that, on them like exploiting him in every possible way.
And you also,
I do like the idea of like we find out though that, and again maybe the lottery thing would be so if I were to rewrite it, and I like the idea of taking the lottery thing away and maybe he just got wealthy, but I like your idea, Eli, of we find out through the sketch that the reason he got wealthy and goes to them is he's
and it was like it was
and
off
they're like
investments
duped again, and afterwards they high five like we're gonna make so much money off this.
And that like that would be an awesome, like as a performer I would love that role of Mark, because much like what Dave did is like you can add anything onto that character, and what you can do when you're not saying lines is equal in my opinion to what you're doing when you say lines for status or whatever the case may be. But also I will say with this sketch, it starts off with a premise and a history with the promise that it's going to unravel throughout the sketch what happened, and you never even get there. So I think that's part of it too, is like if you kind of keep knitting it a little bit to where you find out how stupid they were with their money, and then he's like, but and I don't know what that is. This is the kind of thing too, you could take this in whatever direction you want. They could, he could be an alien and came from the planet Jupiter and whatever. I mean, that's not a good one, but I'm just saying you could.
The AI artwork is like definitely took it in a direction. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What? I love the like coffee cup, and he's kind of like disheveled, like, but it's some kind of weird creature. I mean,
I love the like blowout and his like amazing hair. This is so good.
It's awesome.
The scarf. Oh boy.
The scarf. I was also laughing because they wrote in the very beginning, two friends, Lisa, woman, and Mike, man. Like that's the character description.
No, you know what it was, and here's the thing: it's because when I initially prompted AI, and I was like, all right, so like two guys and a girl or whatever, it wrote all these really. I mean, the lines weren't that great for either of those characters, but it wrote terrible lines for the woman. So then I was like, all right, no, you know what? Rewrite it, but make it three dudes, and it changed the dialogue. And I was like, you jerk! Like a classic sketch, which is kind of funny because that would happen like in sketch comedy. So like as a female writer, like there'd be a couple times where I'd co-write a sketch with someone, and we're equally writing it, we're taking notes, and then they send the first draft and they give themselves all the funny lines. And that's when you have to speak up. And I did at the time, and I go, hey man, did you notice you just gave yourself all the funny lines that we all talked about? And he's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, you need to change that. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, AI just giving the dumb comments to the girl, and they were very like classic whatever base. So then I changed it, but then I don't know why I put that in there.
But I love that the AI thinks like that we need to have, and it's not even just that stuff too. There's other, like on other sketches, like in the first one, it'll say like, oh, she laughed hysterically in parentheses. Like, we got that, dude. Like that's the the last thing. So but yeah, I mean, AI is gonna have to be a little work on its misogyny before it takes over the world. I think that's the next step.
I mean, it's just so cool. It's also because it's gathering what's already been out there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so even though stuff's really been great in the past 10 years with women and writers and great comedic roles and stuff, but I think just classically it I mean, oh my gosh. But I love the artwork is, I think, the best thing about the sketch.
It looks like
actually someone needs to send me that image, because that shit is just something I'm gonna need to pull up and laugh at every
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll also when I clip this together, we'll use that as the artwork too, because it's so good. All right, I'll start out. I'm gonna give this one a 5 because it I'm not gonna give it less than a 5 because you could amplify it. You know, with a little bit more elbow grease and human ingenuity and human perspective, you can make anything funny.
Yeah, it's still a 5 the way it came out. Yeah.
I think so too. I was kind of more towards a 4, but then I liked L's kind of ideas about how to improve it, and yeah, I agree. I think it has potential.
So what do you give it a 5?
I'll give it a 5 too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So L, you should. So he gave you the benefit of the doubt, which is what he did not give me on my sketch. So you should feel really good about that. I've known him for a very long time, and
That's the AI rating. I didn't zhuzh it up. I'd like to have thrown a pussy in there or something like you did, Eli, on yours.
Laborious pussy.
You did. You got a laborious pussy in there. That's an achievement.
That is something the AI has to be coaxed into doing for sure, but I don't know.
How hard did you coax that out of the AI?
I wrote it.
Straight up wrote it.
All right.
Cool. All right. So I don't know what the math looks like, but I guess we'll move on to our final sketch. The final sketch is called The Vikings Misadventure. Look at that.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That is perfect. That is perfect.
That really is perfect. That'd
so funny.
be like a great
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, a great post, like movie poster or something. Key art.
Before that, Dave and Eli aren't giving me the credit for these images. They gave the credit to the AI. I've made all these. I worked.
Vince, was it
so
you and
hard.
your AI or just or
These are just
your
images
AI?
I took at this point. I'm not even using AI anymore.
You went out and shot that?
I went out and shot this. Yeah, I photoshopped the Tinder thing onto the phone too. So there's a little.
Did you really?
I did.
Dude, that's amazing.
Hysterical.
It's a passion project.
Nice, man. That's why
Awesome.
we keep you around, Vince, because you're the talented one.
The stream doesn't work, but
Yeah.
the images are dope.
He who knows the prompts.
No one needs. We don't need a stream or viewership when we have an image like that.
All right, Dave, are you rolling for rolls?
All right, here we go. I kind of want to play Bjorn, so maybe I'll just say I'm Bjorn.
Okay.
Is
Dave's
that allowed?
Bjorn.
What do you guys think?
Okay, I'll be Lisa.
Did you? Did you tell it to be Bjorn, Eli, when you were
I
doing
didn't.
the?
No, I did not.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
Wait.
Dude,
I-
what I did for your prompt is I literally copy pasted.
I sent it to. I
Yeah.
named him in mine. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I copy pasted what
That's right.
you sent me, and what it produced. I was pretty surprised by. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I was too. Yeah. I didn't read the end of it though, so I'm excited to do that.
All right, so
All
I'll
right.
be Steve. Dave, since you haven't done stage direction, you want to do that, or do you need to put all that
yeah,
energy into Bjorn?
I can do it too. I was itching to do my narrator voice changer again, so maybe I'll give that a shot.
Done.
All right, here we go. Interior Central Park Day.
A park with a portal in the center. Pior, a fierce Viking, steps out of the portal and looks around in confusion. Steve, an average American, notices Pior and approaches him.
Hey there. Are you lost or something?
Lost? Nay, I am Bjorn, the fearless Viking. But where am I?
Welcome to 2023, my friend. You're in America. Pretty wild, huh?
America.
Bjorn scratches his head.
Aye, things are indeed different. What sorcery is this? Where are the brothels, the pillaging?
Oh, well, things have changed a bit since the Viking era. We don't really do that anymore.
Bjorn is disappointed.
No pillaging? He mumbles to himself. What has the world come to?
Excuse me, gentlemen. I couldn't help but overhear. Are you talking about the Viking era?
Aye, fair maiden. I seek answers to my confusion. What is this Starbucks I keep seeing on everyone's drinking goblets?
Oh, Starbucks is a coffee shop. They serve various caffeinated beverages like lattes, cappuccinos.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee. 'Tis a drink for the weak, In my time, we drank mead and fought battles.
Well, times have changed, my friend. We have restrictions on a lot of things now for various reasons.
Crumbles.
Restrictions? Why does everyone seem so damn soft around here?
Society has evolved, Bjorn. We value different things now. We prefer peace and cooperation over conflict.
Bjorn Torvis.
Peace? Cooperation? Strange concepts indeed. But tell me, what in Odin's name are hipsters?
Hipsters. Well, they're individuals who embrace alternative fashion, art, and music. They often have unique and eclectic tastes.
Alternative fashion, eclectic tastes. This world perplexes me.
Speaking of perplexing things, what do you think of the internet, Bjorn?
Bjorn is terrified and pulls his sword out to defend himself against this great threat, the internet.
The internet? Is it another sorcery? Does it control people's minds?
No, it's not sorcery. The internet is a vast network that connects people and provides information. It's pretty amazing once you get used to it.
Yeah, it's made the world smaller, Bjorn.
Bjorn sheaths his sword.
Good to know it's not sorcery, but I shall tread carefully around this internet thing.
Bjorn, Steve, and Lisa walk together towards a brewery.
So, no brothels or pillaging in this age, you say?
Closest thing to a brothel you'll be able to find within this city is Tinder.
But we do have great breweries. They make all sorts of delicious beers, or mead.
Oh, mead, you say? Well, now we're talking. Lead the way, friend Steve. Also, I accept this Tinder as a substitute for whores.
We know AI.
Let us rage.
They enter the brewery, laughing and enjoying their time. She fades out as they raise their glasses, embracing the courts of the Manu world. And
Oh
Nice.
man. Oh.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love that one. That was great. I think there's you could lay in funnier beats, or honestly this probably calls for a couple more beats. In my opinion, there's a lot more you could explore with the modern world and the juxtaposition, but I will say, man, the AI, I think more than any sketch we've ever done, like really got the nuances of this one in a way. Not totally. I mean, there's some stuff that doesn't make complete sense that's kind of missing in terms of continuity between the characters, but I was really surprised at how well it kind of pulled everything together and had a satisfactory end.
Yeah, most of them are like, what's happening? But this one is actually like, it's like actually a sketch.
Yeah.
I mean, not a great one, but it's a sketch.
Yeah, I think what could be fleshed out is like, what Bjorn is like, oh wait, things are different. What sorcery is this? Where are the brothels, the pillaging? It could have been two separate things, like where are the brothels? And then she could have gone to the brothels thing, but then it was brought up later that had already gone, right? So that could have been done there. And then he could be like, well, what about pillaging? And then, so what is, pillaging what? They used to like light people's fucking homes on fire and destroy the whole entire, like, so it could be, you could flush that out a bit, right? Like, where's the pillaging?
Yeah.
I need to set
They're
fire
like, no,
to
we
like
just-
a village, or
Yeah, they're like, we just flame people on the internet now. It's different. You don't.
That's right. There you go.
literally-
Exactly.
something like
oh no,
that.
we torch people on the internet. It's called cancel culture. Like,
yeah.
or
You're
whatever.
what we would describe as a troll, Bjorn. Okay.
That's right.
So, well, Bjorn, we have this thing called consent we do now. I know you guys
Yeah.
didn't have it back then, but
Exactly. Yeah.
that was
I
great.
thought it was funny that he kind of just brought up
He could
hipsters
also,
out of
if he was
nowhere.
like that, he could have said, "Hey, my fair maiden," like, or he could turn to the guys and be like, "Well, I'll just take her," and I could be like, "Whoa, hey,
Well,
whoa, buddy."
Yeah.
So
Whoa,
she's
no.
she's attractive. Why is no one forcing themselves on her?
That's right. Yeah.
I do really like the Steve and Lisa character though, as this guy's like information source into this new world, because I think you can also play with that too. You could make them, on the page, I think even more opposites, like maybe an angel and demon on the shoulder kind of a thing, the two extremes of what you could do in the modern world, which I think would service some of those jokes that you have about different things. And then the more fuddy-duddy angel, it's like, well, no, hold on, you didn't let me finish, that kind of a thing. But I also thought it would be really funny is if like you get into the cafe and there's like some other being from mythological or like a different time that's already, or maybe it's a whole cafe full of them, they always just end up in Starbucks. There's like a message in there somewhere for the modern world. I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
What
like
if,
they end up
what-
liking the modern amenities the most or something like that.
Yeah.
What if they what if you had a scenario where like our characters like aren't buying that he's really from there, because that's a big suspension of disbelief for time travel, but maybe they're just kind of like cosplayers. Oh, maybe at the end that could be a button, or like, oh, these fucking, or whatever,
Oh, dude, that would be an amazing twist. Is at the very end of it, you find out that they're just out in front of the New York Comic Con, and this is just a cosplayer. So they're like buying into the whole thing, and the whole time it's just some guy that's really into his role, or LARPing or something like that.
He's
Yeah,
seeing
that
other
would be something where
cosplayers.
if you filmed the sketch, you would just create through
Yeah.
directing, right? Like panning the camera back to see what it really was, or something. But yeah,
I thought it would be funny too if you filmed it. That's interesting you say that, because if you filmed it, you could do a montage of him trying to recreate like pillaging, but it's him with like a Bic lighter trying to like light a building on fire, or him.
brick, like trying to light brick.
Yeah.
on fire.
The brothel could just be like he goes and he sits in the nosebleeds at the Rockefeller,
Taking a strip
the
club.
dance. Yeah, take him to the strip club. That's the better option, I think. It is New York. All right.
I gotta give it
Agreed.
credit for I accept this Tinder as a substitute for whores line.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Well, I was gonna say AI, and you didn't write that one.
I don't know. The AI.
AI
They're-
wouldn't use. I don't think the word horror would come out.
They're
That's
getting,
true. That
They're
might
getting
not-
a little cheeky, dude. They're getting away with some stuff. They're pushing the envelope, We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8. Just putting it out there.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 8 too.
I'm gonna go a little less. I'm gonna go 7, but I think it has potential. I just don't know which way, because there's a lot of ways. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's got some good bones there. So yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of broke down. You could film it. You could stage it. You could, I don't know what else you could podcast it. All right.
Yeah.
So it looks like Dave's the big winner this week. Dave and Bjorn.
Well,
and-
I can't take all the credit. It was mostly for I gave the AI some inspiration because of my Scandinavian journey. So really, I got to give
Really
the credit
good.
to my AI. My AI's name is actually Steve Butt, Butt, and it sounds silly, but he takes his role and his name very seriously. So
of course, why wouldn't
I'm
he?
pretty proud of him this time.
All right. Well, we got some time. Do we want to try to run? Do we want to try to do like a little improv scene of that first what was it, the lottery winner? Do we want to try to run that one back and just do a little improv-y?
Yeah, the lottery one.
That was the least favorite one, though, wasn't it? Hold on, wait.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like sometimes we take the one with the highest score, or sometimes we just do ones just whatever we think. we
Actually,
can
I already
do.
X'd out all of the sketches, so hold on. I don't know.
Okay, so what we can do is we also roll. We can roll to see kind of like what genre we want it to be in,
Ooh, yeah.
just to kind of mix it up a little bit.
I'm really hoping for noir. I think this would play, if everybody was
Yeah.
just really breathy and you owe us
Okay,
money,
so
see?
lottery. Okay, so going back to the lottery reckoning, and Vince, if you can roll a D100.
Vince passed out.
This is where the point where Vince is on his 5th beer, so you never know what you're gonna get.
But it's locally brewed, so
They're all double IPAs.
19.
19. That gives us music video.
Okay.
So let's think that through. Okay, so going back to this, okay, so Mark, Eli, you were Lisa, right?
No, I was Mike.
Oh, you were Mike. That's
I
right.
was Lisa, and then you were
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Mark.
And then I'll do
Okay,
the
so you-
stage.
Okay. So and it could be whatever interpretation we want to take by that music video.
Wait, we're basing this off of something?
So it's kind of just to mix it up in the improv of this. So just incorporating the fact that it's a music of some sort, or however we want to interpret that. Yeah.
Music video. I'm gonna go towards the dramatic on that one.
Got like an 80s music video.
What if, hear me out,
Nice.
what if their friends see him all dolled up and all this stuff, and it turns out he's secretly filming a music video since he's a millionaire and he can just do that? And then that's
like
the whole
that.
skit is like he turns around and he's like, yeah, look at the camera crew. And then they go on a shopping spree, and that's...
Well, you just told us the whole sketch now, so
Well,
the
make
magic's
it-
gone.
No, make it
Yeah.
short.
That.
All right.
Where's the improv? Yeah.
That.
A lot of planning over there.
Vince just texted me a bullet point of what the sketch was. Now I thought that was interesting.
He had a full treatment. I don't know how he
I
wrote
don't know.
that
I think
so
the sketch
quickly.
is. I don't know. We could improv it. I think. I don't know.
Well, and I think improv means just kind of adding on to things that we see, lines of dialogue,
No,
I don't
do
know,
it.
trajectory. All right, cool. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll read the. Two friends, Lisa and Mike, sit at a small table, sipping on their budget coffees and engage in a conversation. Oh man, I wish we had enough money for a full sugar packet. Wait, oh fuck, is that Mark? Dude, look, is that Mark over there? Is that Mark?
No way. I dream about killing that guy every night, and he's right
Fucking-
here.
What's up, guys? My name is Mark. As you know, I remember you from my past, and I'm a big shot director now. I like to direct 80s music videos, and I know what you're thinking. We're not in the 80s, but the 80s is big right now, my man. So I'm back, and I am bringing.
Okay, bro, last time we were hanging out, we were like sharing a futon, scrounging for change. So how did you swing becoming a music producer?
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of Cheeto dust crumbs that were in your couch. I subsisted off that for 3 days, and here you are with mink.
Mike, my man, come over here. I have you and your Cheeto dust to thank for my career, because last time I was at your place, I was hanging out I was couch surfing, and I reached down to the cushion and had a handful of Cheeto dust, and it made me think, Cheeto dust. When did Cheetos start? They probably started in the 80s. I don't really know for sure, but it makes me think of the 80s. And then I was like, what I should do is be a music video producer.
No, what you should do is stop talking and tell us how you bailed on us after our band broke up, and now suddenly you're a music producer? I don't know, Mike, don't you think it's a little suspicious?
And don't you think Lisa and I are entitled to at least 20% of those royalties? I mean, we wrote that hit song, Cheeto Dust in My Pocket, okay? And you got rich off of that, and what have you done with it?
Yeah, it goes Cheeto dust in my pocket, Cheeto dust in my pocket. You know how it sounds because they play it on the radio all the time.
I know, and I wrote the melody. Me and Lisa harmonized it in your den.
All right, okay. I agree that I owe you guys a little bit, but I mean, what really did I do to you guys? I mean, what was so horrible that I did to you guys that you were so upset about this?
Do you want me to tell him, Lisa, or do you want to tell him? I can't believe he's even asking this question.
I just forgot.
I feel like us looking for change in cushions for laundry money, and you just left us? You just left us there at the laundromat. We never saw you again.
Remember, I was sitting on top of the Coke machine, and you were like, oh, you better not spend your money all at once on that Coke. And I said, what does that mean? And you said, see you later. I'm going to go be a big music director. And then you drove away in our car. Okay. Our dad left that car for me and Lisa when he died. Okay.
Look, it was a good car. It was just laying there, so I did what any normal person
car.
would do: is I took a car.
It wasn't laying there. It was parked. Okay, it was parked outside the laundromat.
Look, I just got my hair permed and I have this caramel macchiato in my hand. You can see from this AI photo. Do you want my caramel macchiato? I'll give it to you right now.
Yeah, sure. I'll take your caramel macchiato.
And the box of 20s.
Great. I'm not giving you this fur coat and this scarf though, because that's my whole look, and that's what the people want. So I have to keep that.
Don't act like you didn't hear Lisa say she wanted a box of 20s, okay? We're entitled to that, and it should be a lot more than that. You're lucky that we're letting you off with a box of 20s and a caramel mock.
You know what? How much is $20? How many caramel macchiatos is $20? Because I'm so rich, I don't even know what the currency values are anymore.
2 venti caramel macchiatos.
I was going to say, it
Okay.
depends on where you stop
$20.
in, but yeah, that's 2 mocks.
All right, that's fine. I got a small bag of... I'm sure we can work something out here, okay? How about this? Instead of giving you guys money, how about you come join me on my next music video shoot? I'm on my way there right now.
What do you think, Lisa? I mean, that sounds like a pretty... There's no monetary value or gain in this for us, but
Well, like,
sounds pretty sweet.
okay, well, but before I agree, like, what kind of music is it?
That's a good point.
Let's see. It kind of sounds a little something like this.
Oh, so you're doing a straight B-52s ripoff?
It is. It's called B-52's ripoff, and here, you guys can sign these NDAs.
Look, Lisa, I want to balk at this, but Jan and Dean, all right, they made millions of dollars off being ripoffs of the Beach Boys. I think we could do this, and then you and I can leverage being their managers.
Listen, I'm tired of the studio. I'm tired of sharing the same plastic cups.
Me too.
And
How about this?
yeah, I think it's time.
If you guys just improvise an act right now that you can do, and if it's good, I'll just sign you guys right now.
We're in. And see.
We made it worse. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, the AI is gloating in their chair somewhere going, I told these saps.
What I was laughing. They did the very much like, "Hi, my name's Joe, and you're my brother from Friends." Like, I remember I met you at the in the classic way. It's almost like when you first start writing sketch and you're like explaining. I love it.
Yo, yes, I am 17 years old, and I enjoy.
Or the other fail would be if you came in like with like, "Hey y'all," and I was like, "Where'd you get that accent?"
Yeah.
Like if just did not like that would be totally negated, right?
Or you do the improv cheat of where you just establish everything in the very first line of dialogue. I'm Joe, and we're in a park, and our relationship is we're brother and sister. You got it. Oh man, this was a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, Elle, thank you so much for coming in. Tell people a little bit about what you're doing. You're working on some really interesting stuff. You have a really, really interesting and informative. The other day, I told my wife that you were going to be on here, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've actually seen her videos independent of you." So I thought that was a great compliment for you and your channel.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Thanks so much. Yeah, well, I've been podcasting for 8 years, and done a lot of shows. Hosted another person's show for 8 years, and then did my own because they sold the company. And so, yeah, it's called the Elle Russ Show, but you can go to lruss.com. I'm actually a multiple subject expert. I'm a thyroid expert, so thyroid health, and then also confidence. My second book is called Confident as Fuck. That's an audio, print, and Kindle and all of that stuff. So you can just go to my website. I've got free master classes on the subjects that I write about. I got more books coming out. And a couple years ago, wrote an award-winning documentary that's really awesome called Headhunt Revisited. So check that out as well.
awesome. Where can people find that one?
You can go to my website. Everything's there, lruss.com, or you can go to headhuntrevisited.org or .net or something like that. Sorry, .org.
Awesome.
And find out about the movie. Lauren Hutton did the voice for it. It's a really interesting project. So yeah, so I'm just writing, creating, doing all the fun stuff and having a really good time, and then get to show up and do stuff like this with you guys.
Awesome. We're definitely gonna have to do this again.
Love it. Next time I'm gonna co-write with the AI to make
yeah,
it.
we can try that. Yeah.
Co-write then. I'm gonna overdo.
There's definitely I definitely have a line in which I won't cross in terms of how much, because I don't want to write the sketch, because
That's right.
It's got to be the point of the show is to see what AI can do. Maybe some connective tissue here and there, but man, I gotta say, this show I think more than any other ones that we've done, the AI has been, man, a lot better. And some of these are actually cohesive sketches. So, but we appreciate you coming on so much. We'll definitely have you back. And yeah, thanks again, Dave.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was awesome. It was awesome hanging out with you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I would love to come back on. It's fun, and we'll see you again soon.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with our shenanigans.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Cool.
Bye,
See ya.
Bye, Vince.
Skipping through the end times.